guys, I wanted to do an update slash introduction because this is one of our first videos. So I wanted to kind of introduce Isaiah here. So this is Isaiah Asher Laybourne. He was born on June 13th of last year at 3:05 a.m. So now he is 7 months old. But I kind of wanted to go through his little story here since he's going to be a big part of this channel. So he was born at 8 pounds 5 ounces. He's 21 inches long, but now this guy is 21 pounds and 3 ounces and 28 inches as of the last time he went to the doctor. He's probably a little bit more now. He went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, so he's probably just a little bit more, but I would say that's probably pretty accurate. When he was born, we were living at my husband's grandma's house because she had Alzheimer's and we were taking care of her. The day we went into the hospital, she actually went into a facility. So when we got out of the hospital, we went back to her house because all our stuff was still there. We were still living there. So he was there for probably about the first month. So we had that first month, just the three of us. And then after that, we moved back in with my parents because we're trying to buy a house. So that's where we currently are now. But as for that, he was breastfed for the first 2 months. We had lots of issues with breastfeeding. He had a tongue tie, he had a weak suck, he had a high gag reflex. He also had some digestive issues with the breast milk. I had a side that was inverted and also didn't produce much. So it took a long time for us to figure out all those issues. Within those 2 months, we found issue after issue after issue. It wasn't like, boom, we know all these things were wrong. But eventually, between the stress and the sleep deprivation and just with issues with latch and everything, I ended up losing supply, so we switched to formula. So after 2 months, he was on formula. He was on Alimentum, which is like a corn-based formula. And he did that until 4 months, and now he's just on some sensitive Similac, which we've been having some digestive issues with that. So between us and the doctor, we're still trying to figure it out, trying to get his little system functioning properly. He started solids at 4 months by a pediatrician's request. He didn't do cereals or anything like that because he couldn't handle them. They caused constipation, so he was on basically pears, prunes, and green beans, and he was still having issues. So we're still trying to figure it out. He likes eating. He loves eating purees. We tried doing baby-led. What? What are you getting at? He's also teething right now. He's been teething forever, so he's a little bit cranky. But if I was to wait till he wasn't cranky, we would never shoot this video. What? Yeah. You want your elephant? Oh my! Want this? There, isn't that better? So we tried doing baby-led weaning. Didn't work out well because he was a shoveler. So we do both now. So he gets some finger foods and he gets purees, but it's still very limited on what he can have because he's not he's still having digestive issues. As for sleep, this guy had colic for the first about 4 months, so sleep was very, very rare and very, very hard to come by. But at about 5 months, we did some sleep training, and now he sleeps great. Naps were the first thing to get better. Nighttime, he would still wake about 3 times during the night to eat, and that stopped at about 6 months. He just completely went from 3 feeds at a night to nothing, and I was very shocked. It was great. So that's basically where he started out. So now he is 7 months. So kind of do an update on where he's at now. You are just dropping stuff everywhere. So like I said, he's a little over 21 pounds, 28 inches. He's wearing size 12-month clothing. He's a big boy. He loves feeding himself. He loves, like, if I give him eggs or broccoli, or I'll give him like the the little rice rusks. I give him these very rarely because they're rice and constipation, digestion issues. But he loves being able to put them in his mouth and chew on them. But the issue is if I give him too many, he just shoves all of it, and then he gets angry because he can't chew it, can't swallow because his mouth is full. So that's why we're still kind of doing purees too. He is still teething. I feel like he's been teething since he was 2 months. He got his first 2 teeth at 5 months. We're not seeing anything in the top, but he's constantly acting like he's teething. So we only give him any kind of remedies or whatever when the day's really bad, affecting his sleeping, that kind of stuff. Then we know that it's a worse day. His little personality is starting to shine through a little bit. He's very chill, very happy. He loves the dogs. He loves people, especially children. He loves watching kids. He's not the biggest fan of being by himself. So if I go to put him in his non-bouncer, which is basically, it's a stand-up thing that we thought bounced, doesn't bounce. Anyways, long story. Or we'll put him on his gym. And if he's there for like 5 minutes or so by himself, he starts getting angry. And he just wants somebody to come sit by him. He's very social. He likes people. Which is very different than me and his dad. We're both very introverted. He takes 2 naps a day. We've basically cut out the 3rd nap. He loves sitting up. He loves to sit up by himself as long as, somebody's there with him. Not a big fan of being on his tummy. He hates tummy time. Doesn't really like being laying on his back either. He wants to sit. We still do tummy time because we want him to eventually learn to crawl and be mobile. But as it is right now, all he really does is you put him on his stomach and he automatically flips to his back. The only time he'll be on his stomach is when he sleeps. I'll put him to sleep on his back, and then when I go to find him, he's sleeping on his belly, which that's fine if he's doing it on his own. Occasionally he'll get his legs out of the bars and I have to fix him and help him turn over, but otherwise he turns back and forth in his sleep. He just doesn't want to do it when he's awake. So we know he can do it, but he just only does it in his crib. He doesn't like to hold himself up, so he hasn't started trying to crawl yet or anything, which fine with me. I mean, the longer you want to stay in one spot, that's fine. If it gets to be too long, we'll probably talk to his pediatrician, maybe see a chiropractor, do whatever's needed. But as for right now, I'm content with the fact that I put him one place and he stays there. It's great. One thing he's really started to discover this month is the dogs. I have 3 dogs, and he is becoming more aware of them. He smiles at them when he sees them. When they growl, he thinks it's hilarious and laughs. He tries to grab their fur. He's just way more alert of the dogs being around. The newest thing has been he's gotten scared of the blender. So if I want to make a smoothie or anything, I have to do it while he's asleep, because if he's out in the living room or just out near it, he starts crying. And it's not like he's scared crying. I don't quite, he just starts crying. And it's not actual tears. It's more like whine cry. Like he doesn't like it, but I don't know. It's new development, still trying to figure that one out. That's pretty much it. Now, we were told when he was born, the little birthmark on his nose, and he has one also on the back of his neck, that those were going to go away. 7 months, they don't really bother me, but, so he may have a birthmark on his face and on his neck, which it's fine. Birthmarks are okay, but the doctors was like, oh no, it'll go away. It's like, okay, no worries. But he's super cute kid, has the best cheeks. Like, he has the biggest cheeks ever. I just love his cheeks, and so does everybody else. And he's got big blue eyes like his daddy. And he's not a big snuggler, but when he is out in public and he's meeting somebody for the first time, he'll get all shy and bury his head in my shoulder. It's super cute. I love when he does that. But I think that about covers his update. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that's been going on. Can you? I mean, he's talkative, but he's not like super talkative. More than anything, he just wants something in his mouth all the time. We're not really focused on working on anything other than his digestion right now. That's our biggest concern, is getting him so he can eat normal. Yeah, he's happy, chill boy. Now that we're through the colic, things have been going pretty good. So I think that's probably it for this video.
Drop it.